This is Steve, and joining me will be Paul Siegel. For those of you who missed Paul's pre-webinar discussion, we're going to be discussing a brand new Nison Candle Scanner trial program, and it works as shown here on the title slide with the free NinjaTrader platform. And it being NinjaTrader, you can also get free daily market data. And before I begin to give you the exciting details of what Nison Candle Scanner can do for you, let me just show you our ever so brief caveat and just a strong reminder that there's a risk of loss in trading in pretty much any market. So if you want the specific details about the risk disclosure, this caveat here, you can go to this link. And in my part of this session, I'm going to be discussing the many benefits and features of Nison Candle Scanner. Let's call it NCS for Nison Candle Scanner. And as shown on this prior slide, what I designed Nison Candle Scanner for, I actually designed it for myself to pick out candlestick signal, because my feeling is that there are three things we need to successfully trade. One, when to buy. Two, when to sell, or actually just more generally, when to enter a market, because not everybody buys initially. So one, when to enter a market. Two, when to exit a market, or any particular security or any market. And three, which markets? I mean, there are thousands of equity markets, ETFs, and so forth. So I designed NCS to help me filter through the best potential, and I underscore the word potential, markets to look to set up a trade. And the idea is that NCS makes it fast and easy to find the best trade candidates. So, as John said here, candlesticks is a trading edge. Many of you are familiar with candles, and Candle Scanner is priceless. And I hope to convince you of that in my brief introductory part of this session. Just a reminder for those of you who are new to candletrust.com. Okay, we have clients in at least 85 countries. And NCS, Nison Candle Scanner, works with pretty much any market. Paul, after my brief introduction about NCS, will be discussing data feeds and so forth. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But these are just some of the many, many markets that NCS will let you find candlestick signals on. And one of the major features of Nison Candle Scanner, is it will help you identify correct candlestick signals. There's a lot of free and even paid candlestick recognition software out there, but NCS is the only one designed from the ground up by me. And a little humble to say, or not so humble to say, but I'm the one who is acknowledged as the candlestick guru. I was the one who did the years of research, who had dozens of books translated from Japanese to English, who worked with the best Japanese traders back in the 1980s to really refine my education, which I relayed in my books and my seminars, and now I've refined it into my NCS candlestick recognition software. And to show you, just to give you a sense of how important it is to have correct candlestick recognition, I was, walking along the street and I came across this poor couple. And the sad part is these are my parents. No, just kidding. So, if you're using candles, you want to make sure you understand what are valid and not valid candlestick signals. And one of the features, we have many, many features of NCS, is it allows you to discover if it's a valid candlestick signal. We call this feature highlighting. Okay, and I'll go over, we have three major features of NCS. There's highlighting, and there's scanning, and there's alerts. So I'm just very briefly going over some of these just to give you a sense of how easy it is to use NCS. So number one, highlighting. So you call up any chart and you put on my favorite candlestick signals. I have a total of 30, 14, and 2. Okay, 30 candlestick signals, I think. And you'll see if it's a valid candlestick signal. So here's an example of a candlestick signal, a piercing pattern. Okay, that's where a green candle gets more than halfway into the red real body. Many of you are familiar with this. It's actually, I think, 28 candlestick signals, because I have 2 neutral candlestick signals. We have some bearish and bullish, but I'll show you some examples later on. But anyway, a piercing pattern is when the close of a green candle gets more than halfway into the red real body. So NCS picked this up as a piercing pattern. You can see what that is, a little blue arrow. And if you, sometimes what you'll have, and I'm going to show you some other examples, it'll abbreviate. It won't say piercing, it'll have like a little P, because sometimes if you have a lot of candlestick signals, and I didn't have a lot on here just to make it easy to focus, if you have all the name written out, it's going to overlap. So you'll have the ability, if there's like a little P here, you click on it and it'll show you it's a piercing pattern. But this is a piercing pattern. Now notice over here, although it's a green candle getting into the red real body, it did not pick it up as a piercing pattern. Why? Because the close of this green candle didn't get more than halfway into the real body. And before I designed and implemented NCS for myself, I had to figure out, hey, what's the middle of the real body? And then I had to look at the close and take the halfway point of the real body. But now all I do is put a NCS, okay? And here, let's say you bought on the piercing pattern. Now, I'm going to mention this at the end. I'm going to have a slide, but I may as well mention it now. Just because there's an up arrow does not necessarily mean it's a buy signal. It's telling us that it's a potential bottom reversal signal, and you should be alerted it's a potential buying opportunity. Personally, what I look for is if there's a candlestick signal confirming a support area, but you may have your own favorite Western tools, and that's how I suggest using candles to confirm some other signals, because the more signals you have joined together, whether it's a support area, or let's say the bottom end of a Bollinger Band, or whatever you use, the odds of a reversal higher. So anyway, let's say you buy in this piercing pattern, assuming it's a good risk reward, and you stay long until you get a bearish hotomy, a small real body and a big real body. So, you know, you're looking at a potential $700 on 700 shares. Here we have, okay, just a few weeks ago, this is in IBB. You can see it says Nison Candle Scanner, and these are screenshots. So we have a minus E, okay, and if you weren't sure what a minus E is, you'd click on it and you see bearish engulfing pattern on the bottom left. Again, we can't do that here because this is not a live screenshot. It's not a live view, which is a screenshot. But there's a bearish engulfing pattern, warning that the market was in the potential of topping out. Here we have HW as a high wave candle. Once again, you would click on this and see high wave candle down here. So the high wave candle is telling you, although the market trend is still up, there's a little bit more confusion now with the long upper and lower shadow. And this is actually a bearish signal with the bearish engulfing pattern. And as I mentioned before, I like to see a candlestick signal confirming something else. So if we look back here, there's another bearish engulfing pattern. And for those of you familiar with our education, you know a bearish engulfing pattern potentially becomes resistance. So as the market's getting to 146, if you have a reversal signal, because it's confirming a resistance area, the odds of a turn are much higher. And then here you have a falling window, a minus W, and you see how the window became a resistance area. But I wanted to show here is, notice this is a red wrapping around a green. Now, bearish engulfing pattern is red wrapping around a green real body, correct? Isn't this a red candle wrapping around a green candle? But why doesn't it say bearish engulfing pattern here? Because it's not. Although the combination of candlestick lines are correct, a bearish engulfing pattern must come after an uptrend. And obviously this was an uptrend. Was this a rally? Was this after an uptrend? No. And we have proprietary indicators how we define uptrend and downtrend, because a bullish engulfing pattern, for example, should come after a downtrend. So here we have a bullish engulfing pattern, little plus E, and this is a downtrend. Again, it's proprietary how we define trend, but you need two things to define a candlestick signal. the location, as Boz says, right? Wrong location. Could call on that one Boz, right? Location being that it has to come after an uptrend, and a bullish engulfing pattern has to come after a downtrend. So you'll know you have the correct signal when you use Nison candle scanners. Now, one of the other features I mentioned is the alerts, candle alerts. I had this cartoon made up. Nobody should be able to find Steve's favorite candle signals that fast. By using Nison Candle Scanner, you're going to get entry and exit signals before other traders see them. You're going to get real-time candle alerts. And this works great for those looking at intraday charts. And I'm going to discuss intraday a little bit more, and Paul will focus on it, because with the free data feed from Ninja Trader, you get end-of-day data. But you will have the ability to get a live data feed for intraday trading. And I'm going to show you an actual example of that in a couple of minutes, and Paul will discuss that. So the way it would work with the candle alerts is, let's say you're looking at 8 or 9 intraday charts, let's say IBM on a 10-minute chart, Google on a 30-minute chart, I don't know, a 3-minute chart on Microsoft, and they're all running in the background. So what you would do is you'd pick some of my, and again, it's a little blurry because it's a screenshot, but you'd pick, say, one of my favorite bullish candlestick signals. Okay, and you can see I have bullish candlestick signals, and above it you'll see there's bearish candlestick signals and neutral candlestick signals. But say you pick a hammer. So what's going to happen is all those charts running in the background, whether it's a 3-minute, a 30-minute, a 15-minute, it's going to being Nison Candle Scanner within the Ninja Trader platform, is going to be scanning for any markets that at the end of the time period that your chart is looking at, say you're looking at a 5-minute chart of IBM, at the end of the 5-minute period, if there's a hammer, you will be alerted, and you can customize your alert. Okay, I actually have a sound playing. You also have the ability to have an email. I don't know if I'm an email, but that doesn't do much good by the time you check your email. So I have a sound that plays, and so these are some markets I had running in the background. And once one of these markets hit a hammer, okay, you'll be instantly alerted. Okay. As Maria said, looking through our largest managed account, I realized Steve's Candle Scanner has saved our client thousands, no, tens of thousands of dollars. And the most powerful feature of NCS, Nison Candle Scanner, is what I'm going to be discussing now, and this is why we call it Nison Candle Scanner. You can scan through as many markets as you want, and I'll show you here. So you'll pick my favorite candlestick signal, and I usually use this for end of day because I'm so busy, running the company and all that during the day. So at the end of the day, I'll scan through normally like the S&P 500 or my markets that I'm currently monitoring, or ETFs, but I usually scan through the S&P 500. This market analyzer is within the free Ninja Trader, so it'll scan through, let's say, the S&P 500, and let's say I'm looking for bullish engulfing patterns, or you could look for a few things, a bullish engulfing pattern or a bullhotomy, or you could look for all the bullish candlestick signals, which might be a little overwhelming. And so make it easy, I pick a bullish engulfing pattern. It's scanning through the S&P 500. With today's strong, powerful computers, it literally takes seconds. And these are the markets that, let's say, within the S&P have a bullish engulfing pattern. And then this will filter the 500 stocks in the S&P to whatever number it is, maybe 5 or 10 potential trading opportunities. So you just click on each of these, let's say Microsoft or Pfizer, the chart will come up, it'll highlight the pattern. Okay, let's say Microsoft, I forgot which market this was, but let's say it was Microsoft, and here you'll see the plus C, it's a bullish engulfing pattern. Now what you've done is you've filtered a universe of hundreds of stocks into maybe 5, 10, or 10, and then you analyze the candlestick signal. Is this near a support area? If I buy it here, is it a good risk reward? But what this is doing is taking that third aspect of successful trading. Remember, when to enter, first aspect, when to exit, second aspect, and which markets to look at for potential trades. The third aspect, and that's what NCS does. It filters within seconds a universe of markets. So here, for example, and Paul had discussed this a little while ago before the seminar started about using NCS intraday, and Paul will discuss real-time data feeds a little bit later on. But I just wanted to show you the possibilities of what this software could do for you. And yeah, we know the market rallied, the Dow rallied 1,200 points yesterday, but it also fell hundreds and hundreds of points. So using NCS, we had the high wave candle. Remember a couple of markets ago how the high wave candle was warning us the market was not going from bullish to bearish, but to neutral. And then the bearish signal was this bearish engulfing pattern that actually wrapped around 2 green real bodies. And we could see what happened after. You see the little down here, minus the little red arrow with a W, that's a falling window. So once the market makes a falling window or gap down, look what became resistance. Okay. By the way, look at these engulfing patterns. 1, 2, 3. So you have an engulfing pattern confirming support, another engulfing pattern confirming support, and this engulfing pattern, this bullish engulfing pattern wrapped around 2 real red real bodies. Solid support, all right? So here's an example of just a recent example of how easy and powerful it is to use NCS. And one of the features that we're most proud of is top-level technical support. Sil is a Nison certified trainer. I'm sure you've heard him on many of our seminars. He is a true guru, the go-to guy for Nison Candle software tech support. And these are just some of the many, many kudos we get for Sil. Thanks for your help, Sil. You're a precious, priceless resource. And you can just read this on your own. It's just a really, really nice compliment. The odds are you will not need Sil's help because we designed NCS to make it really easy to use. You'll have a resource page with videos on how to use the scanner, how to use the highlighter, okay, and how to use the alert. So it's just good to know kind of he's in the background. He's there if you need support. Now, one of the questions we get very, very frequently, what if I have a brokerage account where I execute trades? Now, remember, NinjaTrader is a great charting platform. It's free, but let's say you have a trading account at TDA or wherever, but you really want to take advantage of the NCS to look at potential trade setups. So what a big majority of the successful traders using NCS do is in one window, or ideally you should have at least two monitors. If you're trading, you should have 2 or more monitors. So in one monitor, you have NCS with the free NinjaTrader platform giving you the candle scanning alert signals, and the other one is the wherever you execute your trades, you have their platform on there. If you happen to have only one monitor, you could split it in half. But I would strongly suggest if you're serious about trading, even if you're not trading intraday or swing trading, you really should have at least 2 monitors. But a lot of our traders do it this way, so I just wanted to address that question. And I want to emphasize this before I mention this near the introductory comments I made. It's a tool. It's not a system. Okay, it doesn't generate buy and sell signals. You're going to see up arrows and down arrows. What that does is alert you if you have an up arrow, let's say with a bullish engulfing pattern. It's just telling you that there's a bullish candlestick signal. You should pay attention to it, see if it's a good potential trade setup. If it's not, you go on to your next one because you may have 5, 6, 7 potential trade setups with NCS. Right? So it's a tool. It's not a trading system. It just gives you potential trade setups. Okay, and I had this cartoon made up. Your skills at mastering candle charts begins with the NCS trial. Okay, the idea is that the trial is going to give you the basic experience with NCS. Okay, it's designed to give you an understanding of what NCS can do for you. The longer you use it, the better the software becomes for your trading style. It's like reading a classic book. You could read it when you're 20 years old, and then when you read it at 40, it means you get just much more meaning from it because you have more life experience. And with that in mind, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Paul, and he's going to give you the full details about the data feed, the additional resources you can get, and what you get during the trial and after the trial. Okay, over to you, Paul.
Very good, Steve. I'm just going to switch over, bring up my slide deck now. And give me 1 second. Okay, so Steve went over a lot of information, and I'm about to now give you a little bit more detail as to how the trial program itself works. And I did get a whole bunch of questions coming in, and real quick, to get a whole bunch of questions, does it work on a Mac? And I did answer that for some people. But Ninja Trader is what we're really talking about here. Ninja Trader is the platform that you would be using. Ninja Trader was designed to work on Windows, but there are ways to make Ninja Trader work on a Mac. And we do have instructions for our Mac users. You would need some level of software like a parallel so that we can, provide so that you can basically have Windows operating on a Mac essentially. And then you would just utilize Candle Scanner. As soon as you have Ninja Trader capable of working on your computer, you would be able to use the Nison Candle Scanner. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through the trial program, get you some of the details, and then I am going to be staying on to answer any and all questions that you do have. Okay, so what should you expect in a 1-week trial of NCS? And remember, real quick, for people that I know we just had a bunch of people logging in while Steve was talking, NCS is our abbreviation for Nison Candle Scanner. Okay, so what we're offering tonight is a 1-week trial of Candle Scanner. What you should expect to get out of this is that you're going to get an overview of what NCS is able to do, meaning truly understanding how it can highlight, how it can scan, how it can alert. Okay, this works in any market, in any time frame, if you have the data feed for that. And I will be getting into the data feed here just in a couple of minutes. The trial does come with free end-of-day data, which means you would be able to look at daily charts, weekly charts, or longer. You would not be able to look at intraday charts like 15, 30, 5-minute charts, things of that nature. I will talk to you in a moment here about how you can get real-time data. Beyond the trial, we do recommend that you do get real-time data, and there's multiple ways to do that, multiple ways to get it for free. There are other paid options as well if you did not want to go with one of the free ways to go. Second thing that you should expect to get in a week trial of NCS is that you'll be able to start confirming specific candle patterns. Like what Steve showed you before, a lot of people say, hey, how come when I saw that bullish engulfing pattern, the market didn't just go up? And when we look at the chart, more often than not, the person incorrectly identified it as a bullish engulfing pattern, meaning it really wasn't even a bullish engulfing pattern. So by having the Nison Candle scanning software on your chart, you would know confidently that Steve Nison has defined that accurately for you. So in that week trial, you'd be able to look at any chart that you have, and you'd be able to highlight every candle pattern of the 28. You could turn them all on, you could turn them all off, you could have certain of them on at a time, and you'd be able to understand by looking at a chart which candle patterns are which. You would be able to utilize charts to set up a scan and customize that to you. And for people that are new to the idea of using Candle Scanner, I know that that concept might be a little over the top for right now, but I'm going to show you a few things about why the longer you have Candle Scanner, the better it becomes. It's like a very powerful tool that if you don't know how to use it at first, you're not going to get the full functionality of it. But the longer you have it, the more best practice sessions that you attend, the more strategy videos that you watch that we provide to owners of Candle Scanner, the better it becomes. The one analogy that always comes to my mind is if you give the keys to a very high powered sports car to somebody that does not know how to drive a car yet, that very powerful sports car isn't going to do anything for that person, with the exception of possibly get them into a lot of problems. So what we're going to show you is that the software is a very powerful, in this analogy, sports car. But what we want to make sure you know how to do is you want to know how to drive before getting fully ingrained into a very high-powered sports car. And basically, bottom line is we want you to understand the potential of what Candle Scanner can do for you. Like I said before the session even started, to the people that were just entering the room, if you had the Candle Scanner, on a big day like yesterday when the Dow Jones, for example, was up, whatever, 1,1700 points, and then it closed up 800 points. But if you realize, we had a move up of 1,600 points, and then we actually had a move down of 800 points all in the same day. So I'm just going to show you this chart. I specifically did not show you the symbol. I specifically did not show you the pricing on this. This is one of my favorite trade setups. And what you see on the screen here is just a quick section of one chart. Okay. And I know that there will be questions. What is this? What are we looking at? Well, what you see on the chart right now is the Nison Candle Scanner. As you can see, you have some abbreviations. So I'm just going to put on my highlighting tool right here, like this -E, that's a bearish engulfing. Right here, this is a hammer. And what I want to talk to you about is this hammer. Okay, as you know, a hammer is got to follow a downtrend. So we had a preceding downtrend, and then the hammer is exactly this: a small real body, a long lower shadow, and a very small, or hopefully no, upper shadow. So we did have a slightly a small upper shadow there as well. This is part of a trade that I actually took and made myself, and I've exited a while ago. I say a while ago, like in the last week or so. But bottom line, this is a bouncing ball trade setup that I found by utilizing the scanner to find that hammer. And if you notice, so what I'm going to click over to a drawing tool real quick. The lower the hammer, I know that's not very much a good straight line. Sorry about that. I'm not a good artist. But I look at the bottom half of the shadow of the hammer as a buying zone. So basically I'm looking for a retest, right? So the ball comes down, it bounces up, and it retests back in before it goes back up. This is a standard bouncing ball setup that I've been using for a long, long time. And there's a lot of nuances to this one trade. But if you also notice, and I'm going to clear that off, go back to the spotlight. What I also like to have on my charts are Bollinger Bands. So this top dashed black line and this bottom dashed black line are my bottom and my top Bollinger Bands. So my charts are pretty simple. I have my candle scanner, obviously, with my Bollinger Bands, and this is just the midpoint of the Bollinger Bands. And notice that this hammer confirmed a lower Bollinger Band. Well, my entry, and again, I would get into this and I'll show you how you can learn more. My entry would be in my buying zone, as I showed you before. And here, sure enough, here's my entry point. And I like to layer into trades. So I entered once I got into my buying zone. I added a layer once we got confirmation with a close of that candle. And then I added another layer once we had actually a very small, you'll see here a plus W. We actually had a very small rising window right there that I added a little bit more to my position. So what you'll see is even before I entered the trade, I had, and I'll grab my drawing tool again, I knew where my potential reward would be, right? My buying zone, bottom half of the hammer, my reward up here, from basically where the downtrend began at this bearish engulfing pattern. So I had a fantastic reward to risk ratio. So the reason I bring this up is because I just want to show you the example of what the power of Candle Scanner can do. I know a lot of people don't understand, different ways to utilize the Candle Scanner. But again, if you attend the best practice sessions or utilize all of the resources that we provide to owners of Candle Scanner, you would see we provide you with things that we actually use it with. Whether you like my bouncing ball video or you like Steve's strategies that he uses, doesn't matter. If you hate it, I've had people tell me that it's the dumbest trade I've ever seen, that bouncing ball. Okay, fine. I've been using it for about 12 years now. Doesn't always work, but I do know where my stop out points would be in case it doesn't work for you. But again, I've been successfully using it overall for 12 years. So when you sign up for the trial, you would get 1 week trial, and this is an information page or a screenshot of the information page that you would actually get. We provide you with a best practice video. It's about an hour long, telling you all the best practices of how to use Candle Scanner. We then have a video. That middle video there is how to actually install NinjaTrader 8. That's the version that we are providing with this trial. So you'd watch that video. It's about 8 or 9 minutes long, I believe, telling you how to actually install NinjaTrader 8. It's going to tell you that you're going to need a link. We provide that link right there on how to actually install NinjaTrader 8. Then that third video there on the right, that is the video on how to install Candle Scanner. We're going to tell you that we want you to watch that again. This is a little under 10 minutes long, walking you step by step actually how to install the Candle Scanner. Now, you're going to need a link and a license key to actually install the Candle Scanner. We specifically did not put that link and that key here on this page that you'll have access to, because you'll be getting that individually via email. And we absolutely need you to install NinjaTrader 8 prior to actually installing Candle Scanner, right? It makes sense. You need the platform installed before you can actually install the MCS indicator into that platform. So immediately upon purchase, you'll have access to this information page so that you can actually begin downloading NinjaTrader 8. The first question, and there it is, I always get it, how long does it take to download NinjaTrader 8? Again, it depends on the strength of your computer and everything else that you have going on, and the strength of your Wi-Fi and all the other stuff. But downloading NinjaTrader 8 should take you certainly less than 10 to 15 minutes of actual download time. Sam just said you have to try that bouncing ball for options. Yeah, absolutely, Sam. You need to. I've been doing it for 12 years. And I know that you've played around with the ideas before. You would absolutely love it. By the way, getting back to NinjaTrader 8, so we want you to download and install that onto your computer well before looking at installing Candle Scanner. That's exactly why we did not give the link to Candle Scanner, because a lot of people have done this in the past. They tried downloading and installing Candle Scanner before having NinjaTrader there. Okay, so that's the information page that you're going to have access to. Now let's talk about market data. We get a lot of questions about this. Let me try to be as clear as I possibly can and answer any questions that you have. So if you do have a market data question and you're in the room right now, by all means, type those questions in. If you're watching this via recording, and for those live, we are recording this, so we'll be getting the recording out later on tonight into tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. What happens with the trial is Kinetic is the partner that works directly with NinjaTrader. Okay, Kinetic provides a free end-of-day data program. Okay, so that means that NinjaTrader would have zero cost. Kinetic end-of-day data would have zero cost. Okay, so now, as I said earlier, that's what comes with the trial. If you were going to purchase the candle scanning software and you are a trader and or investor, I recommend having a real-time data feed. and I'm getting a whole bunch of questions. So I'm just going to get through this, and then I'll come back and I'll answer those data feed questions here just in a minute. So there's multiple ways to get data feeds. First, you can always purchase a data feed for your specific markets. And again, like I said earlier, we do have 85 different countries represented of people that are currently using the candle scanner that we know of. People live in 85 different countries that we know of using candle scanner. Okay, so you can purchase a data feed from a company like Kinetic. Kinetic does a lot of different things, and if you want more information to see different things that you could purchase from Kinetic, you can go to kinetic.com, and you can see all of their different data providers and different things like that. Now, regionally, I can tell you that we work with a partner in India that they are a data provider into NinjaTrader. There's data providers in many different countries around the world. And if you send me an email, I'd be happy to kind of get you some information, or you could also go to kinetic.com, or you could just Google NinjaTrader data feed from blank country, whatever blank country happens to be. So yes, you can certainly purchase a data feed. Let me tell you what I do. Okay, I live in the United States. I have an account at TD Ameritrade. Now, if you notice here on the screen right now, TD Ameritrade, I'll just draw a little circle around it. Everybody should be able to see that. TD Ameritrade is what they call a partner broker that works with NinjaTrader. What that means is if I have a TD Ameritrade account or an account at any of these other brokerages that are listed, you would be able to, by using your online login information for TD Ameritrade, you would be able to log in through NinjaTrader servers that connect to the TD Ameritrade server for market data. Okay, so meaning anything I get inside of TD Ameritrade, any time frame, any markets that TD Ameritrade has, will be fed into NinjaTrader at zero cost. Okay, zero cost. So if you had an account at things like eSignal, I know somebody asked a question about that, FXCM, TradeStation, I know that Coinbase for some of our crypto traders. If you have an account with barchart.com, okay, an Interactive Brokers account, and I'm just rattling off some of these. Now realize that NinjaTrader, in addition to being a charting platform, is also a broker. They have NinjaTrader Forex. They also have, it's not listed on this page, but they have a NinjaTrader Futures brokerage. So if you open up a NinjaTrader Futures or Forex brokerage account, you therefore would also get free real-time data. Okay, so let me answer a couple of questions that just came in. Ellen asked, does NCS work on the futures? Absolutely. Again, assuming you have futures market data. Does it work in the Indian market? Absolutely. We have a lot of students in India. Like I said, there's multiple ways. And if you send me an email, I can give you a company that we actually do a lot of work with out in India that provides a data feed directly into Ninja. And I know that we get this question from different countries around the world, Canada, Australia, things of that nature. So I hope that is clear on how market data works. But realize market data is basically the fuel that makes the charts work. If you don't have the fuel, the engine won't work. In this case, the engine is NinjaTrader platform, and the fuel is your market data. Remember, it comes with free end-of-day data. If you are good with end-of-day data, by all means, stay with that. We do recommend it. Oh, by the way, question just came in. Do I have to trade through TD Ameritrade if I want to utilize them? No. Here's a great little secret. If you just open an account at TD Ameritrade, if the account is actually open, whether you put money into your account or not, does not matter. As long as you have an open account with them, you would be able to utilize them for free real-time data. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's talk about resources during your actual trial. During your 7-day trial, you'll have access to an information page. It's basically what I showed you before, the best practice video, the install video for Ninja, the install video, and links and everything for Nison Candle Scanner. You'll have access to that best practice video. You will be invited to a live Q&A session hosted by Sil. As you heard from Steve earlier, Sil is our tech support person. Sil will be doing a live Q&A session for anyone on a trial at the end of this week. That means if you're on trial, you have a question, you can submit it ahead of time, or you can submit it at the actual session. Either way, we're also going to record that, and that recording will be added onto that information page. So whether you attend it live or not, you'll be able to watch it. You'll have a live chat on the information page that you can talk to any of our chat agents. All of our chat agents here at Candle Sharks are traders. All of them utilize Candle Scanner. Okay. If you had a question specifically about Ninja Trader, you would be able to go do a live chat at ninjatrader.com. And then you also have the ability to email us. So you'll have access to that email address where you can email in questions. And if you have a question, we do ask that you be as specific as possible. Sanjay's asking about, I'll get to that question after we get through all of the trial information. Emmanuel's saying he has an account with TradeStation, can't find that on connection tab for Ninja Trader 8. We'll have to get you that information, Emmanuel, but basically you can connect that. Or you could just go to Ninja Trader and go to their continuum, and they'll have information. So here's the way the trial works. You sign up for the trial, you have 7 full days. 7 calendar days, I should say. And that's important because we want you to actually go through the best practice. We want you to set up a scan. We want you to do all kinds of stuff when the markets are actually closed so that you can see how everything works. At the end of day 7, you would roll automatically into our monthly subscription. If you don't want to do that, if you say, hey, I don't want to continue, you just need to cancel prior to the end of your 7th day. At the end of day 7, you become basically an owner of the Candle Scanner on a monthly subscription. And at that point, you would have access to all of these additional resources, the bonus strategies, a full video that I did on my bouncing ball. You'd have a video from Steve on his blast off trade, his power windows trade, and on how to utilize strict criteria inside of Candle Scanner. You'd have another video on the overview of the 28 different candle patterns that we have inside of the Candle Scanner. You'd have a video and information showing you how to set up the international index. Again, we have students in 85 different countries using this. You'd have a quick reference guide. You'd have access to additional best practice session recordings. And as an owner of Candle Scanner, you would be invited to all future best practice live sessions, as well as entitled to any and all upgrades, updates ever done to the software. So you own the software. You do not ever have another fee associated with Candle Scanner because any updates and upgrades are included. As you heard me say before, this trial is on Ninja Trader 8. When we first rolled out Candle Scanner, it was on Ninja Trader 4. So anyone who purchased our software back in the day of Ninja Trader 4, by the way, Ninja Trader had just upgraded from 3 up to 4 at that point. When Ninja Trader went to 5 and then 6 and then 7 and then 8, our software was made to be upgraded and updated to reflect that. So you do not need to purchase it again. It would just be included in your ownership. So here's how it works. That's the link there in red at the bottom, candlecharts.com/NCS. This is exactly what you would, or that big yellow button when you get to that link at candlecharts.com/NCS. The way it works is this. You can sign up on that page for either the 1-week trial, a monthly subscription, an annual plan, or a lifetime subscription. Okay? Those are your choices. You can choose any of them. If you want to get going with the trial, You would click on that big yellow button when you get to that page at candlecharts.com/NCS. You would pay $14 for your 7-day trial. Okay, just think about that. Essentially, when I do that math, it's $2 a day. Could you imagine finding one trade setup? Could you imagine finding for yourself, this is a tool I'll use the rest of my life in trading and investing for just $14? In those 7 days, you'll have access to everything I told you about. It does come with free end-of-day data. You can certainly add real-time data if you wanted to. You could either purchase it or you can tie in, for example, a TD Ameritrade account if you wanted real-time data. It does work on Mac. We would have to provide you with slightly different directions on using it on a Mac. At the end of your 7 days, you would automatically be charged $249 as you would go onto our monthly plan. If you do not want to do that during your trial, you would send us an email. Just say, I do not want to continue, or I want to cancel. I don't want to go onto your monthly plan. We would cancel it at the end of your 7 days. Your trial would be over. You would not be charged again. If you don't do anything at that point, you would continue on to the monthly plan at the $249 per month rate. At that point, you pay that $249. If you say, man, this is something I really want to do the rest of my life, I want to upgrade to the lifetime, the $249 that you just paid for that first full month would be credited towards the price of lifetime ownership. So the link is candlecharts.com/NCS. I encourage you to take advantage of the 7-day trial. Now let me explain one other thing. This is a limited time trial. This is not something that we're going to have on an ongoing basis. This is something that we are trying now. And for some of you, I know there's some of the people in the room right now that were part of our beta test that we did a few weeks ago. We did do a beta test to kick the tires on the trial aspect. We were not testing the software. We were just testing different aspects of the trial. This trial ability is going to be over in the next couple of days, meaning you have to register for it in the next couple of days in order to take advantage of this trial. What I'm going to do, I know a couple people are just asking for the actual link so that they can click on it, and I'm typing that in right now. So there it is. You should be able to go to that link, candlecharts.com/NCS. If you have specific questions, Ellen, I see your question, just send me an email. I don't want to get into all of that right here about specific cases. So again, the link is candlecharts.com/NCS. The ability to sign up for a 1-week trial at just $14 is only going to be limited. Okay, it starts now. So if you sign up for the trial now, it'll start now. If you sign up for it tomorrow, it'll start for 7 days starting tomorrow. Like I said, this will only be available for the next few days. During those few days, you'll be able to sign up for your 1-week trial, and then the 7 days starts the day you actually sign up for your trial. Okay? We do not plan on having this on a regular, ongoing basis. This is a first time ever that we're actually doing a trial. We did do a beta test, but this is the first time we're actually doing an actual trial. Well, so I'm now going to take questions. And again, for those of you watching the recording, if you have a question, send me an email. My email is paul@candlecharts.com. Question is, will NCS scan the entire Russell index without me having to enter each symbol? Absolutely. NinjaTrader comes pre-equipped with various indexes. So essentially, like for example, Steve showed the S&P 500. So if you want to scan the S&P 500 or the Russell or the Dow Jones or the NASDAQ 100, they're already pre-made lists, so you can just do that. Or you can also create your own watch list. If you have your own specific watch list, you can create whatever size list you want. There is no limit to how many you can do. but I would tell you that obviously if you're scanning 5,000 market instruments at one time, it'll take you longer for your computer to scan that than if you were scanning 100. Okay, so yes, Dorian, you can scan the entire Russell index without having to enter each symbol. That would be very painful to have to sit there and type everyone in. Manuel, just go to ninjatrader.com, Emmanuel. You'll see information about NinjaTrader at ninjatrader.com. NinjaTrader, let me try to explain this. We are not NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader is their own company. They are a charting platform. They are also a brokerage platform. When you go to their website, you're going to see a lot of information about signing up for a NinjaTrader brokerage account. But if you also go through their website, you'll see that they are a charting platform as well. And that's how we utilize them. You can certainly utilize them for a brokerage account if you'd like. Therefore, you'd also get their data feed. So it will work regardless. But you do not need to purchase anything directly from NinjaTrader. They will be used as a free charting platform. David's asking, do the alerts work on intraday charts as well as daily? Absolutely. Any data that you have, the highlighting, the scanning, and the alerting will all work the same way. Ellen's asking my email address. My email is paul@candlecharts.com. If there are any other questions, I'd be happy to stay on for a couple more minutes to answer anything else for you. Again, the trial is 7 days from the moment that you register for your trial. Again, the trial, the ability to sign up for the trial is limited to only the next couple of days. Okay? Meaning the 7 days will be completed prior to Thanksgiving, regardless of when you're actually signing up. So if you sign up today, tomorrow, the next day, you have 7 days from the time you set up. Boz is saying, oh, great session. Thanks, Paul and Steve. Very welcome, Boz. Sanjay is saying, would I get the same benefits I'm planning to purchase from True Data? If you purchase it from True Data, then they will connect with us and we will get you all set up. Dorian's asking, the 7 days are calendar days. Again, I said earlier, we want you to utilize this trial. Remember what the expectations were that we have for you. If you did a 7-day trial at a gym, you're not going to become Arnold Schwarzenegger in those 7 days. The idea is to understand the potential of what the candle scanner can do. So we intentionally want you to have a couple of weekend days where you can set up a scan and you can do various things with the software. Sergio is asking, TradeStation works the same way as Ameritrade, etc. Yeah, as far as a data provider into NinjaTrader, yes, TradeStation does work the same way. But just so you know, Sergio, if you already have a TradeStation account, we do have a Nison Candle Scanner version that does work directly on TradeStation. Okay, so that's your call. I know we have a lot of TradeStation users that want to stay on that specifically. So we do have a version of Candle Scanner. It works the exact same way. You could put it directly onto your TradeStation account if you'd like to. But this trial realizes only on the NinjaTrader platform. Hopefully that answered that question for you, Sergio. Okay, any other questions? Oh, my pleasure. So we do have a couple of people just signing up for the trial. The process will be, you're going to have access to that information page. Then you'll get an email from our office here with your unique link and unique license key so that you'll be able to install the candle scanner. Again, you need to first install that NinjaTrader. It's been my pleasure to present this trial information to you here tonight along with Steve. I want to thank you so much, Steve, as always. And if you do have questions, by all means, let us know. We will be getting this recording out to those of you watching this live. And if you're watching this via recording, thanks so much. And hopefully we'll be seeing all of you take advantage of this trial and see all of you at that Q&A session later this week. Be safe. And as always, be profitable. Have a great night.